Hi, my name is Lauren Muller, and my final project is titled Navigating the Hills of Westwood. For the past 4 years, I have seen people hobble on crutches, struggle to wheel themselves up inclines, and take shuttle buses around the campus to ease the burden the terrain UCLA presents. So I thought perhaps a least cost path analysis could be performed to find the best route to take that would minimize the elevation climb. My origin points were the dorm and Ackerman, and the destination was Bunch. The dorms were chosen because of the number of students residing in this location, and it is the apex on the campus. Ackerman was selected because it represents the central hub of student activity and the beginning of the increase in elevation from Central to North Campus. North Campus was chosen as a destination point as it is another campus apex. South Campus was excluded as its elevation is fairly level. Bunch Hall was chosen as the destination building as it is the home of the geography department. Initially, the identified cost elements were elevation, buildings, grass/fountain areas, and major stairs. Later, after my field research, I added another cost, the closed access to Anderson. After performing conversions and slope calculations, rasters were reclassified as follows. Slope. As slope increases, accessibility for the disabled decreases. The hardship ascending an increase in elevation is not linear, but exponential. Therefore, the cost factor as assigned to the elevation reflected this characteristic. The reclassified slope with a cost range from 0 to 100. The cost range increased as elevation increased. The cost range was 0, 15, 30, 60, and 100. Costs associated with buildings, grass/fountains, stairs, and closed disabled access were considered obstacles and assigned a cost of 100. Therefore, these rasters were reclassified to 0 or 1, where 0, the obstacles, if any, were minimum, while 1, the obstacles were significant. Since the maximum elevation cost was 100, this cost was assigned to all areas of 1. The least cost paths were generated in yellow and blue. Yellow was the initial path and blue was the subsequent path. A 3D model was produced with the routes, origin point, destination, were elevated. Additional buildings were not elevated due to the concern with exporting limitation. Here you can see the alternative path and initial 2. To confirm the feasibility of the path, I used track kit and walked the routes. To confirm my results, what I found was that the initial path is inaccessible for a disabled person but is okay for pedestrians that climb 3 flights of stairs. This path was the easiest as it was the shortest and the ascent the easiest. The alternative path was longer and steeper. I did run into obstacles such as non-major stairs, but there were alternative disabled access paths adjacent to the calculated route that I worked. These graphs from TrackIt depict the altitude change of the routes taken in the map. The initial least cost path from the elevation and distance perspective is the most efficient path to North Campus. Unfortunately, the school has closed the disabled access route. This makes the alternative path the only suitable one. Disabled access paths that minimize elevation. It is farther in distance and the ascent is more rapid, thus making the pass more difficult than the initial pass. The first route is gradual, and the elevator makes the ascent to the next level easy. If pedestrians can climb the 3 flights of stairs, the initial path is the least strenuous. The field data provided that the methodology employed to calculate the least cost path were accurate.